It's a kind of magic. I have a new guilty pleasure in this European cartoon called It's a Kind of Magic, or Magic, depending on which translation you're listening to. But yeah, it's about these fairy tale creatures that are trying to live in the real world. Why they say real world instead of human world is iffy to me, but again, it's a guilty pleasure. It's not a great quality of a show. I mean, it's super basic. The jokes are not great. The puns are not great. You know where the plots are going from A to B. Why would I spend my time on something so simple? Because it has certain charms about it that I like very much. It does. One thing is, I think the animation is lovely. It's got just a lot of personality to it. It's very geometrical, the flash. I like how all the characters are so unique in their size and their color patterns. And yeah, I like that very much. I like the way they design the trees, and mostly the family's house is very, very cute. Like they're living in a city where everything is not really gray, black, and white, but everything is normal, square, slightly rustic colored. While theirs is bigger, it has beautiful vines and lots of windows, and yeah, it's just super cute. Again, fairy tale creatures. What is this little group of fairy tale roommates? It's actually a family. The mom is a fairy godmother, and the father is an ogre. Yeah. Yeah, the interesting thing about this family is the fairy tale world they come from. Fairies and ogres aren't really supposed to mix. Yeah, mostly because there's this very strong rumor that ogres will eat fairies. So, yeah. So it was just easier for these guys to get married and just, move their kids and such away into the human world. Because apparently it's easier to pretend they don't have magic powers and stuff than live with the prejudice. So sad, but okay. Now, because they're two different species, the kids appear human for the most part, but sometimes when, different relatives visit and all of that, then different parts, the kids will often, have their own set of magical powers, or they'll, borrow their mom's wand. A lot of great humor from the show depends on the kids taking their mom's wand, because while mom knows how to use it very well, the kids, use it for simple, quick fixtures and, chaos. So I really, Oh, and with the family, there's also the sister-in-law witch, it's explained, and a banished or super lonely frog prince. I'll explain. But first I want to talk about Willow, the fairy godmother, who is just a mother. She's a mom. She's a wife. Yeah. She does have that high voice, she's perky, she's joyful. Yeah, she is an ideal fairy and such. And yeah, she is a mom. She's sweet, she's overly doting. But an interesting thing to me, what separates her from Cosmo and Wanda is she will break any rule if she thinks she's doing something nice, okay? I've seen episodes where she will make people fall in love if it's to help someone in her family. She will happily let her son cheat on tests. Hell, she doesn't even tell him beforehand. She just flicks her wand and gives him the answers because she wants her little boy to do well. Yeah, she is. Well, there's a funny thing about Willow. She acts ditzy and stuff like that, and she really doesn't call a lot of attention to herself. She is a giver, but there are moments where she is very clever and very independent, and it's just a joy to watch. She is very much in love with her husband, but one of the cute things is, even when they're lovey-dovey, they also have normal argument fights. Most of the time, her husband will be annoyed because she is using the wand too much. This family apparently doesn't need jobs or money. The wand just kind of does everything for them, supplies everything for them. And once in a while, her ogre husband, he takes issue with that. Not really. Yes, he can be cocky sometimes, but more in a we will get caught and put in the zoo sort of way. And then she'll either prove her point saying, magic helps. If I ever do anything to humans, who cares? I'll just erase their memories. Yeah. Her husband, Gregor, not as endearing to me as Willow, but still pretty darn cute. He's the gentle, sophisticated sort of ogre. He likes watching rom-coms with his wife and daughter. And yet, when, he wants to be intimidating, his size will come on his side. Though it is a weak joke that he doesn't realize his hugeness is intimidating people, even in fairy tale land, he should know better. Though I get a lot of joy from the way he's constantly arguing with his sister-in-law, Ferocia. Ferocia apparently was a dark fairy who, did evil things just for the fun of it. But, yeah, lost her wings, lost her magic, super bitter about it. Now, it's very easy to just say that she's the baddie because she's the villain, but I don't know, there's something so adorably scampish about Ferocia. There really is. I love how she's always trying to corrupt her niece and nephew into doing wrong and such. I love how she pokes fun at everybody. And yeah, with her gravely voice, I get Selma and Patty when she's fighting with Gregor, and it's a petty little thing, but it makes me joyful. It makes me happy. Now the kids, well, you have Tom. He's the responsible one, even though he's a tiny boy. It's funny, his father's a giant ogre and his mom's a rather tall fairy. He's like a very short little boy and people give him guff about that. But he's also a very emotionally mature young man who takes a lot of responsibility in keeping his parents from, just going full sparkle. But he's also naive and a little gullible, so yeah, people will take advantage of that. His insecurities will take advantage of that. Yeah, he's our hero boy that always does the right thing at the end. It's meh, but I do like how responsible he tries to be for the rest of his family, while also he still is doted on like a kid. It's alright. His sister Cindy is pretty like irking with the whole, oh my god, I'm a teenager, I'm on my phone, my life's over sort of mess. But there are moments where she shines really well. It's kind of funny that because she's in her teen phase, she's completely over like the fairy tale princess concept. She wants to be an independent woman and such like that, and she wants to inspire like her female family members and her friends to always be more independent. She's grown out of the fairy tale thing, and the fact that her parents are literal magical creatures is irrelevant. It's just there. Most of the time, Cindy is the annoying thing and all that. She's gruff and grumpy. Though, yeah, the moments when she's sticking up for other people, they are rare and few, especially when it comes to her little brother. They are rare and few, but when she's doing good, even when she's angry and gruff, she takes most after her ogre dad in some ways like that. Even when she's being gruff, when she's doing it for other people, it's really touching. Last character, least important but still there, is Your Highness. That is his name. Yeah, or at least the name he lets the family that adopted him live in. He's the Frog Prince. He's waiting for a princess to kiss him. He has a lot of dignity. There are a lot of times where he's, that friend that gives good advice that is ignored by Tom and such like that. Like, even though Your Highness is usually like, why aren't I being spoiled? And all that. Oh god, it's hard being small. Even after he's tired gruffing about all that, he's usually the one that's telling Tom, okay, you gotta give your parents a break. They are a different species from everyone else in this world. That is not how they were raised. So, yeah, those are the moments where I like the little frog dude. I do. Yeah. This show, again, super basic. You know where it's gonna go. But if you just love the wacky silliness and adorableness from the Fairly Odd Parents, or the kind of spoofs on fairy tale like mythos that aren't concentrating on the prince and princess issues, but other fairy tale like monsters and creatures like that, then this is a delightful little show. If you just want to watch it for its really cute, bright animation where it's all flashy and they have really interesting anime-esque like advantages and such, then yeah, if you just want something super light but still worth a couple giggles, then I highly recommend this show. If you have anything better to do, do that, but for a light giggle, it's a lovely show. I actually wish there were more. Can't believe it, that's true.